Hey, welcome back to Canuck Dave Disc Golf. I'm Dave. Jonas is on the camera, and today we are out here in an amazing piece of property in Chilliwack, British Columbia, just past Cultus Lake. It's called Camp Stillwood Disc Golf Course. 18 holes. They're doing lots of work up here, improving the course, and right now they have an 18-hole layout. It's on U-disc, and they have a shorter pink distances and a tee-pad, which is the longer ones, is yellow, and we'll be playing that today. So come join us for the round. They have a lot of cool holes, including 2 par 5s, a lot of wooded holes out in the open, out of bounds, mandatories, lots of challenges. So come check it out. Thanks. All right, here we are at hole number 1. We're playing the yellows. This first one's 314 feet. You got the map right in front of you, and the important thing is when it gets close to the green, there's a real low ceiling, which is key to keeping it at the right angle. Using my orc, and I got it up a little high, generally going the right direction, but swatted down about 50 feet from the basket, which you can see there. Right behind this basket, it starts dropping off towards big gully back there. So you have to be aware of that. A lot of these baskets are a little different. Some are higher and lower, but they have 18 baskets on the course, which is awesome. This next hole is 303 feet from the yellows. It's a bit of a left to right shot. The important thing is you don't want to go too deep because it really cuts you off with a chance to putt, as the basket is inside this little area, little cove. I slipped a bit, hung it off to the right. I'm trying the roller. Should have went with a more overstable putter. Thought of that too late, and so leaving me with a long putt for par. Love that sound. Not really.
Snag the par.
Just a little low. It's important to note when you're playing up here on the mountain that there is quite a bit of wind, and so learning to play in the wind and picking your right disc is key. This is a big 357-foot left to right shot with the basket really nestled back in the trees. Going with my destroyer, got a headwind. And you might be able to see the headwind just kind of knocked it right over. Even with my stable destroyer, it knocked it over. Playing my harp through the trees here. You can see the basket there. Worked pretty well. Lots of guarded pins on, especially, well, I guess throughout the whole course. They do a good job of placing them back in some challenging spots. Hole 4. 496 feet, par 4. And again, with this one, it's important to get it out there about 300 feet or so, but trying to keep it as straight as you can. Otherwise, you won't have much of an entry into the basket. Using my PD, I missed on the good side, but went way too far left, and so I have a real challenging upshot here.
Drop this in there.
Trying to go high and plinkoing it in down to the basket. Drifted a bit too far right.
Too far right.
Typical putt on this course, as I found out. If you're off a bit, you could be really in trouble behind a bunch of trees. Good challenge.
All right. That's a challenging. You really have to land it in there. You have a good upshot.
Making some mental notes for the next time I play. Number 5, par 3, 326 foot. And again, I think this is another hole where it's just right inside a bunch of trees down there. So you want to swing it in there and then hope for the best. Started a bit too far right and crashed in there.
Right.
I think I'm going to be about
Tucked it in there, just outside the circle.
a little bit further outside the circle. As I found out, it's about 50 feet out there. Trying a little Annie forehand with my harp. Throwing it hard, hoping it will hit a tree as a backstop, and I got lucky.
Down there.
I guess it's not too lucky if you hit a tree since there's so many. The chances are pretty good. Save the par. Really beautiful day out here.
Save the par.
All right. Hole number 6 is our first par 5, 626 feet. You can see it goes straight and then banks hard left at about 150 to 200 feet left. The key on all these shots is staying in the fairway. Using my PD, trying to flex it through that gap. Pretty good job. I'm on the left side of the fairway. And now the next shot, important as well, to leave it with a good angle in the opening, using my G-Star Firebird.
And I got greedy.
I actually thought I overdrove where I wanted to go.
Too far, I think.
It turns out my old eyes
Is it bad
betrayed me.
To say don't hit that stump before you play? That's right in my line. Jinx.
Trying to play some mind tricks so I don't hit that stump with my upshot, with my harp. Worked perfectly.
Woo! Yes.
Really fun par 5 where you have to really have an emphasis on placement shots. So it's not just crunching a drive out there, but really figuring out how to play the course. All right, hole number 7 is a par 3, 280 feet. As you can see, it's another left to right shot. I'm going to be using my G-Star Firebird, trying to hit it on a hyzer to the left and fading right in there. And one of the rare times the disc did what I wanted. It was awesome.
I'll take that.
If you go right, the trees pinch off, so it definitely favors a left to right shot. And in for the bird.
I'm on the birdie train.
All right, hole number 8. 259 feet. It's a tunnel shot. And it actually has a hanging basket down on the left side of the fairway. I decided to go with my graffiti tactic. If I had to do it over again, I would have went with a mid-range. I was asking a little bit too much from my putter,
It's a little short.
which left me off in the side of the fairway, and I had to shoot a forehand Annie to get up near the basket. In for the par.
Turbo.
Turbo from 1 foot away. Pretty impressive. All right, hole number 9, 223 feet with a mandatory around that first tree. The key is not hitting those trees and staying far right and dropping in. I'm using my harp, and I hit the tree.
Too low.
Brutal. Got a little bit of what I thought was a gap. And the gap moved. And here we are for the par.
Oh, that sailed on me. A putting display.
Fun little hole though. Just
On the course.
has a nice touchy hyzer shot, and hopefully I'll get it next time. Hole number 10 on starting the back 9. We have a 229 foot par 3. It's kind of a left to right shot, going with my harp, wanting to get it out there. Played it low and short. Was not happy with that shot, leaving me with about a 50-foot hyzer putt. What a feeling. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, keeps you playing. I actually used my overstable putter to make sure it hyzered in there.
That hole. You shanked your tee shot and knock it in from 50. Whew.
All right, feeling good. Moving on to the 11th. We have a 294 foot, pretty much straight shot. A couple of trees on the left and right, but there's plenty of space in the middle. Going with my PD, trying to hyzer it, and decided to really hyzer it and left me way short. Upshot with the harp. And grabbing the par. All right, we're on to number 12. This is a par 4, 503-foot shot. In our practice round, I tried to go backhand. Figured the forehand was actually a better play to try and play it out left and draw it in. Another important tee shot that you leave in the fairway.
Yes.
I was happy with it, and then when I walked up, I realized I really pinched myself off. So I have about a 250-foot upshot through a small alley. Just nailed it right where I wanted it. And I think I got within 10 or 15 feet of the basket.
Ask for a better skip than that.
So for bird, grabbed it and took the birdie on that hole. Again, another hole where placement is key. On to number 13, par 4, 431 foot, right to left shot. This one has a crazy opening. I'm going with my Excalibur forehand roller. Been practicing this a little bit. Nailed the gap. Hit the big tree in the middle of the fairway. But I was very happy
For a little bit up there.
to get it down the fairway.
Spread it up. That was actually right down the middle.
All right, I'm pinched off of the tree on the left, going with my G-Star Firebird for about 250-foot upshot. And parked it. The tee shot on this hole is the critical shot. If you can get it out there anywhere 200 feet, you have a chance to score or keep your par. Otherwise, you're in huge trouble. All right, on to number 14, 395 foot, the longest par 3 of the course. Dealing with some headwind on this hole. Decided to go with my Discmania Majesty and did not shoot it high enough. And it was turning over. Wrong,
way too low.
probably wrong disc choice there.
Not majestic.
So now I left myself about 250 foot, 200 foot upshot.
Get up. Skip. Oh.
And
Roll, settle.
fun
Man,
shots,
shooting everything
cool
low.
hole. I'm not playing it that well, but it's a fun hole. On for the par putt, actually. Just left it a little off to the left, and we'll take a bogey. All right, this is a cool hole. There's out of bounds and a mandatory with that big construction kind of framework of a tent out front. So you have to play it. You can't go through any part of that tent on the shot, and I'm about to do that. Played my Destroyer, and it hung it out left, bounced and landed in bounds, but I went through the mandatory, so I'm taking it from what I assumed was the drop spot off the pink tees. The basket is around that off right and then back left, and had a decent upshot, but now I'm lying 3. It's for par after the mandatory penalty, and I'll take a bogey.
Bogey.
So I'm on the bogey train. On to 16, par 3, just a shorty, 192 foot. Wanting to get it within 20 feet for a par. There's out of bounds on the right again. Really not in play. Going with my harp. If I had to do it over again, I would have went with a less overstable putter, probably my AVR. And my putt was failing me. Left it short. All right, so we're back to even with 2 holes to play. This is an interesting little hole. Shooting 170 feet over out of bounds parking lot with a basket nestled in there in the woods. Danger is on the left, so you want to kind of bring it in right to left. I yanked it just a little bit.
Accomplished getting it deeper.
So I'm pin high, but have a really interesting little shot between some trees.
Oh, yes!
Snuck it in there. Back to -2.
That was a fun putt.
And on to the last hole. It's a 490-foot par 4. The danger's on the right, so you just want to fire something out as far as you can straight without pinching yourself off right for a good upshot. I'm using my destroyer. Going to try and Anheuser it out there for some extra distance.
4.
Just missed them by a lot.
I'll take it. Trying to play pinball up there with those trees.
Okay, the basket's right up nestled in the middle of some trees there. Going for my harp upshot. And parked it, which is a good way to end the round.
All right. Finish with a bird on a high note.
Nice.
Hey, thanks for joining our 18 holes at Camp Stillwood's 18-hole disc golf course from the Yellow Tees. Jonas and I had a great time. We played a practice round beforehand, and then so we figured out where the holes are, and then played a second round for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Come on out here, enjoy the course. It's so beautiful up here on the mountains. I hope you can see some of the beautiful sights around here. So just taking that in, breathing the fresh air is amazing. I ended up shooting a -3, had 7 birdies, 4 bogeys, but really enjoyed the challenging shots. A lot of fun. Hey, I'd really appreciate it if you would like the video, subscribe to our channel, and we're going to keep putting out some cool videos, visiting different courses in British Columbia. When the border opens up, we're planning on going down south to hit some new courses and having a lot of fun. So thanks a lot for joining our channel with Connect Dave Disc Golf. See you next time.